YouTube, the final frontier. These are the live streams of the channel Captain McKay Random. Its continuing mission? To explore strange new action figures, to seek out new hobbies and new conversations, to boldly stream where no one has streamed before.
So, about last week, let me tell you, as we all know, Memorial Day was like a week and a half ago, and it was a short work week for me, which meant, I didn't have to go in Monday. I had 4 days instead of 5. Problem is, my job still expects to get 5 days worth of work crammed into 4 days, which means guys like me suddenly have to work much later than usual. Which sucks because, I want to stream on Wednesday nights, and I can't just tell my boss, listen, I got an audience at home of a few people that pop in week after week. So, sorry about that. I was not on top form last week as it was anyway, so it was just going to be a whole stream that would have been boring, and you guys would have just been watching me fall asleep, and that would have been no fun. Let's see. We do have some cool people already hanging out. Super Cat Fighter 2 Turbo. I'd try it. Dope music, says Kaimo Films. That was Castlevania Rondo of Blood. I forget which level specifically, but I think it's the water level. It's definitely the water level, as a matter of fact. It's one of my personal favorites. Castlevania always has awesome music, though. Memorial Day didn't screw Cap. Cap screwed Cap. I should have known. I should have just gone to work and, gotten arrested when I tried to get into the building without anybody else there. Let's see. Harry Flynn says he got the entrance greats Goldberg. Nice. I still actually don't have that one. I've been waiting to see if maybe I can catch it on sale because it's a bit of a steep asking price in my opinion, but the figure does look nice, so I definitely want to check it out. Alex Version 1, what's up? Oh, Kaimo Film says SH Monster Arts Godzilla 2019 came in today. It's dope. Nice. All right. Yeah, I've been hearing actually pretty good things about that. How does it look with the atomic breath piece? Because I've seen it kind of looks crooked when he's doing it up into the air, but how does it look like when he's doing it like straight forward? Because that's pretty much how I would probably display him anyway. Evan Studios. It's been so long since I've watched one of these streams, but I'm glad to be back. Well, I'm glad to be back too, man, because I've you might have not been here last week, but I couldn't stream last week. It's a whole big thing. It was a controversy. You might have seen it in the papers, but we're back. And we got a few things to talk about here. It's been kind of a pretty hectic week as far as figure news and stuff like that. Swig a beer for the working man. Now, speaking of, I got Stone Cold right here. Been going through some old figures, trying to just see what I got and keep track of it. Let's see. Tomorrow is my last day of school, says Greenlighting Animations. Let's go. There you go. Do it. Harry Flynn turning 21 next month. There you go. Let me tell you, from there, not much to look forward to besides bills and paying for stuff you don't want to pay for. Flaming Dumpster Fire Heathcliff. The new Godzilla, did I see it? Yes. And the answer, if you're asking if I liked it, is yes. I thought it was pretty good. You have to like Godzilla movies. So, if you're looking for, a Hamlet or something, like with really intricate pace and storytelling, you're not probably going to get that. You're going to get monsters fighting, and you're going to get people in the movie who get the monsters to the same place at the same time so that they can fight. And that's fine. That's what I wanted. And I think that's what a lot of people wanted after the 2014 movie, where it was slower and the human characters weren't really that interesting. So this was a definite step in the right direction. I loved all the monster designs, and if you're into that kind of thing, I would recommend it. Give my boss the stunner. He'll understand. Again, I'd probably get arrested, just like Stone Cold did, but that's all right. Bash said, So, I saw Aladdin, and I loved it. Oh, I thought it was excellent. Well, breaking news. I'm actually glad to hear that, though, because there have been people that have been saying that it was actually, like, kind of surprising them with, like, what they were able to do with it. So, hey, that's good to know. Because I might have to take the girlfriend to a movie because she didn't want to go see Godzilla. But I couldn't work it out to a point where me and my roommate could just go while she was at work or something. So I was like, listen, I mean, it's Sunday night. Everything is closed except the movie theater. Godzilla? And, you know, she, to her credit, she had fun with the movie as much as she could. But I think I'm going to have to go take her to see something more up her alley at some point. So if Aladdin's good, I'm definitely glad to hear that. Let's see. It's all downhill after 21. Yeah, Zombie. I echo that sentiment. It looks fine, says Kaimo Films. The alternate jaw piece holds the effect, but I'm worried the joint will loosen too much with overuse. The effect itself is bent. Oh, that's too bad. June 13th is Flaming Dumpster Fire Heathcliff's birthday. 13th will be... Is that exactly 1 week from... Oh, no, 1 week from tomorrow, I guess. Well, I mean, come back next week. I'll say happy birthday. Let's see. Do I like Harry Potter? It's fine. It's not something that I, like, pay attention to or keep track of or anything. I've seen some of the movies, but I definitely have watched them all, like, out of order. And I don't know which one is which. And so I wouldn't call myself a fan, but I enjoy it when it's on. Let's see. How were the human characters in it? Like 11. Joseph Miga. They were more interesting than the last movie. 11 was fine. I'm calling her 11, but we know who I'm talking about. Some of the characters, there was like one or two that kind of annoyed me a little bit, but for the most part, they were more interesting than the 2014 movie, which is all I asked for, because that 2014 movie, some of those, was it Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch, they were just very dull. Dr. Serizawa was interesting, again, like he was a carryover from the last movie and he was interesting. But overall, yeah, I think it was just a much better movie. Bash says Big Will was really good as the genie. The music was perfect and it was entertaining AF. Alright, well, hey. I mean, that was kind of the thing that people, I think, were like skeptical about, was Big Will. And so if he made it Big Genie style, then I can't argue. I mean, honestly, Will Smith, he's one of those actors, we might have even talked about it in here a little bit, but he's not bad. He just always kind of plays Will Smith. And, you know, if it's appropriate, it's great. And honestly, the genie was kind of a weird character in the original cartoon, so having him be like kind of a weird out of place character in this too, if that's what they did, it would probably fit in just fine. Alex version 1 says there's always an annoying kid in the movie theater. Dude, yeah, 2 seats over for me. Logan Dottie, how you doing? Hanging in, man. Just getting back to the stream. Missed last week, so not going to make that mistake. Kaimo Film says the characters were considerably better than 2014. I don't know why critics are saying that's a weak point. I can't figure out why critics... Well, yes I can, because I think critics are looking for like a story that's driven by, you know, character motivation and growth and development and this and that, and that's not what these movies like have ever been. Like, somebody posted today, actually, it might have been the director of this movie, that I think it was on Twitter, they posted the original like New York Times review of the 1956 Godzilla that when it first came out in the United States, so the 54 movie with like the added scenes, and like the critics in the New York Times were just ripping it apart, saying it was bad and like this and that. So critically, I think Godzilla is just always one of those things that doesn't really do well. But with fans of the franchise, if you have certain things that appeal to the like monster fans, they're gonna love it. Dylan Oliver, what's up? Let's see. Zombie says, oh, okay. Yeah, I missed a thing up there. Somebody was talking about Robert Pattinson as Batman, and Zombie saying, I can't stand how everyone is flipping out as over Pattinson as Batman. Give the guy a chance. I'm not a fan of him, but I'm willing. Yeah, I'm right there with you. I mean, I've seen enough actors be cast as like superheroes and in these movies where I'm just like, really? That's weird. I don't think I'm going to like that. And then I've been proven wrong not every time, but more often than not, I've been like impressed with what I've seen. So I'm just like, you know what, let's give him a shot. I didn't want to see Ben Affleck as Batman, and honestly, granted those movies weren't great, but I did not mind his Batman. So, you know, I'm just doing it. I did see Bash ask my thoughts on Kevin Smith films. Clerks, Chasing Amy, Jay and Silent Bob, etc. I see, and we continue. I've never seen Mallrats or Clerks 2 or Jersey Girl. I've seen the rest of his movies, though. I've seen Clerks 1 and 2. I've seen Mallrats, because that used to be on like FX all the time. I've seen Chasing Amy. Maybe that's it. Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back I never saw. That might be it. Those might be the only ones I've seen. But, oh no, I saw Dogma too. Parts of Dogma. I don't mind them. I think Clerks especially was funny when it came out. Maybe not when it came out. When I saw it. And I did see Clerks 2 in the theater. And that was, it was good. It was funny. Kept me entertained. Kevin Smith, in general, is just one of those guys that sometimes kind of annoys me. Just because he comes off as like a bit of a know-it-all. But maybe that's just a character trait of his. I don't know. But like, he one of the things, like, I saw some interview with like where he saw Tim Burton say that Tim Burton didn't really read comics that much, and Kevin Smith's like, oh, well, that explains Batman. And I'm just like, yeah, listen, you're the guy that put in a comic book that in one of the pivotal scenes of year one, Batman like crapped his pants or something. You put that into the canon, so I don't want to hear your garbage about Tim Burton, okay? Yeah, The Widening Gyre. It's a terrible trash can Batman story that Kevin Smith wrote and didn't even finish, and it's been like a decade. So that's, yeah. As a human, maybe not his biggest fan, but his movies, not bad. Pretty good. Let's see. Dumpster Fire Heathcliff is just glad Affleck is no longer Batman. You see, I didn't mind Affleck as Batman, but those movies just didn't do it for me. So I'm okay with them starting fresh. People gave Heath Ledger a lot of shit when he was announced to play Joker. Yes, and I was actually one of those people, because I was just like, I don't know, I've never seen this guy do anything that makes me think he could be the Joker. And boy, was I wrong. That Godzilla looks so realistic and sick. The new one? It's definitely worth checking out. Yeah, the effects are really well done. Zombie says, Mallrats is a classic. Clerks 2 was not as good as the first. Did not mind Chasing Amy. Only movie I've never seen of his is Geely. Did he do Geely? Or are you thinking of Jersey Girl? Because I know Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez? That's Geely, right? Let's see. Alex version 1 says, would we ever get Burnout Inc. and Captain McKay cross? We've done like voices and stuff for each other's videos. I wouldn't mind doing something with Burnout Inc. at some point. I don't know what it would be. We tried to do the Street Fighter thing a while back, and ultimately that's my fault that we haven't seen much happen with it yet, because he tried to get it put on his channel and kept getting flagged because it used like some of the movie scenes and stuff. So he passed me the video, and I've just got to get it up onto a website where basically it's not going to be on YouTube, where they can just flag it and take it down. So I don't know, we'll do something. Nightcore Hitman says he has Marvel trivia if I'm ready for it. Well, you can throw it out, let's see what happens. Zombie says Nicholson is still the best Joker. He might still be my favorite too, actually. That might just be from growing up watching that movie, but I also think that like he played the character very much to his own strengths, and it worked, and you could tell he was really enjoying himself for the most part, I think. Did I see the SDCC Slim Jim Macho Man exclusive? Are you talking about this one right here? Yeah, you know I'm on the ball with some of these figures. This, honestly, is such an awesome idea. And I like that they have like the cloth jacket too, so it's not the rubber one that keeps him pre-posed. And I like also the face they gave him. Like the, whatever that face print technology they're doing for him, it's really working for him. And I like that he comes with tiny little Slim Jims. Like that's just icing on the cake. So, comes with awesome props, great looking figure. And I think you can get it on Entertainment Earth, maybe? Or one of those sites has it up for pre-order. Maybe even right now. I'm not sure. Let's see. Do I think it would be funny if high school students went to jail for cheating on a test? And it depends on who it was and what test it was. I almost laughed when Ghidorah smashed the person next to Chandler in the Arctic. Don't want to spoil the person who died. Yeah. Thoughts on Jared Leto? Don't really know enough about Jared Leto to give you my thoughts on him. I didn't see Suicide Squad. I heard he wasn't great. I mean, I heard the movie itself wasn't all that good, actually, but I heard his Joker wasn't great, so I don't know. Such a badass Macho Man figure. Yes, I agree. Nightcore Hitman says, true or false? Captain Marvel's originally from Fawcett Comics and not Marvel or DC. I believe, if it's not Fawcett, it's definitely something, because it's not Marvel or DC. Like, Captain Marvel was something that was bought by DC and turned into Shazam because of the whole thing with Marvel already having the name Marvel. So that was a whole thing. Yeah, but Captain Marvel was basically like a Superman-inspired superhero that later fell into the DC continuity, I guess. I don't know. Something like that. Let's see. Such a... Art thou bored? Adam Cole, baby. True or false? Batman was created in 1939. I think he was first printed in 1939. I don't know when he was created. Let's see. What did I miss? I saw something up there before. I missed it. Somebody will type it again. Kind of bummed we didn't get a proper Mattel Gangrel to go with the Hardy Boys Brood figures. Man, it's... I would think that would be like a no-brainer, especially if they did a proper like Brood Edge and Christian. Like you could basically just repaint the old throwback Edge, give him like a coat and sunglasses and stuff. They would need to do Christian with like that tuxedo shirt, which I think they should do, honestly. And Gangrel could even use the same shirt like they did with the Titantron figures. Like, who cares? Just give us Gangrel. Give him a little goblet. It'd be awesome. Speaking of, though, I actually had I don't want to call it nostalgia because nostalgia implies something like positive, but there's a local store that I shop in nearby a lot. They get a lot of good figures and stuff, and I really, I try and give them business because they're a small place and I like order figures and stuff there. But they get a lot of loose wrestling figures in, so every now and then I'll go searching, and what do I see but a Maximum Sweat Gangrel figure, the Jax one, in the bin down there. And I had a nice little laugh to myself. Thought about buying it. Decided, no, that's like $5 that I will never see again if I buy this. So, just a fun little aside there. Machine Dragon Nero turned 26 yesterday. Well, happy birthday. Let's see, the new box design for the SH 2019 or 2019 SH Monster Arts figure is awesome. I prefer it over the slash marks. It's a lot cleaner looking. Yeah, I like it better. What do I think Lita would look like if she was with the Brood? I mean, she probably would look about the same. Black pants, red shirt, maybe a few more little buckle goth things on them, but I don't know. Like, she'd basically pretty much look the same. Let's see. Nightcore Hitman. Odd question. Is it bad I like the show Pretty Little Liars, which already ended, and I'm watching it right now? Alright, so I don't know if it was like season 2 or 3, but me and one of my friends just watched one episode randomly, and it hooked us. And so for like the next year or so, we just watched every episode, and nothing ever really got solved at that point. So I was just like, I don't pay for cable, so when she moved, I kind of stopped watching it, and I know it went on for like years after that, so I don't know whatever happened with it, if they ever found out who A is and all this stuff, but it was entertaining, I'll give you that. It's complete trash, don't get me wrong. It's absolute garbage, but I liked it. Let's see, Joseph Miga says, kinda sucks that those NECA Superman vs. Alien and Armored Batman vs. Predator figures are SDCC exclusives. Oh, you talking about these Superman and Batman figures? So there we got the Armored Batman and the Predator. And, man, they look amazing. I really, really like these figures. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get them because I'd have to see if a friend of mine is going to San Diego. Maybe he could pick them up if he is. But, yeah, the Superman in particular I really like because having like just a standard awesome looking Superman is definitely cool. And like to have the different faces with like the eye effects and all that kind of stuff, just wow, like really cool looking. And while we're on the subject of NECA, I would be remiss if I didn't talk about this Ninja Turtles movie box set that they got with the bad guys and Splinter. Like you have Captive Splinter, and you got 2 Foot Soldiers and that Shredder, and they're like in the same scale with the movie Turtles that came out. Was it like 2 years ago? And they were re-released at GameStop. So good, so awesome looking. And then one last little bit of NECA thing here. We got Rodan's box. And Rodan was in King of the Monsters, of course. Really cool. I liked the design they gave him. And so I will definitely be picking this figure up. I don't have Mothra yet. I do like that they both come with stands, though. Like Rodan has the volcano stand. I think that's really cool. So, yeah, lots of NECA stuff happening this week. Let's see. Trevor Sisk says, forgive me if somebody asked you this, but I just got here and I was wondering, have you seen Godzilla King of the Monsters? Yeah, we talked about it a little bit. I did see it and I did enjoy it. I recommend you go see it if you have any interest in Godzilla or, you know, these kind of big monster movies in general. You'll have fun. I think you'll have fun. Bash says, all 42 Sega Genesis Classic minigames announced. Quite a list. Not perfect, but damn close. Some titles missing, but can only assume it's due to licensing issues. Nice, because when I last looked at the list, I think it was like 30 games had been... It was like 30 or 31 or whatever, like had been revealed. And so I was waiting to see like what the rest were. So, matter of fact, yeah, it was like a week or so ago because I was talking with my roommate about it. So, I think like based on what those games already were, I was pretty much going to be on board anyway. So, now that I'm going to have to go see the rest and just be like, yeah, you got me, Sega. And this will be the first Sega thing I bought in a while. A couple of years ago, I did buy one of those like little reproduction things with like the built-in games or whatever, but it had some audio issues and honestly, it wasn't great. I do have some Sega cartridges that I still play on my Retron, which that's fun, but you know, you would have to buy cartridges. So it'll be nice having this with the built-in preloaded games. Let's see. Kaimo says, oh, well, first Harry Flynn said, X-Men and Fantastic Four are going to be in Marvel Phase 5. I hope so, because I'm a big X-Men fan. I know that Dark Phoenix movie's coming out like today or tomorrow or something. After that Apocalypse movie, I just don't think I really care. And I'm on board with some of the cast. Like, I like Professor X and Magneto in the First Class movie, and the actors are good. Hashtag Team Sansa. But it just doesn't look that good. Speaking of X-Men, though, did pick up Professor X. There was a local Comic-Con here over the weekend, and I couldn't find this figure anywhere. And they had him at the show for $45, so a couple bucks more than I would have paid at like Target or something. But still, I mean, like for that $2 or $3 extra bucks, I think he's cool, and I like his hovering chair, and he's got kind of really exaggerated hands. Like this one's his like mental telepathic hand with his like reaching out. But I'm pretty sure, I didn't try this yet, but I'm pretty sure you can switch the hands with like any other figure. So here's Coulson, and he's got like more relaxed hands. I think it'll work. So I don't know, if you just want a Professor X that's not like exaggerated. Let's see. I also pre-ordered the new Genesis on Amazon. Okay, nice. I didn't know it was on there. I'm gonna have to look. Let's see. Do I think Cena would have been a big name in the Attitude Era? I don't know where he would have fallen in the Attitude Era because you had so many big names already. Like, I think some of the reason why Cena and Batista and those guys took off was because you had like a mass exodus of people from the Attitude Era. Like, Rock was gone. Austin was unable to wrestle. Like, Kane and Undertaker were still around, but Undertaker is kind of like transitioning and like being like kind of written out as the biker and coming back as the dead man, and that was like months with him not there. You still had Angle, but you know, Mick Foley was gone. Triple H was like out on the shelf for a while. So I don't know. Like, I don't know where Cena would have even fit in. I'm sure he would have been important, but I don't know if he would have been like a main event guy. Thoughts on Metallica? I really like him. It sounds like a very quick answer, but honestly, there's that one bad album that nobody likes, but besides that, they're pretty good. Thoughts on Pearl Jam? I'm not honestly a huge fan. I'm also not that familiar with them. I just know a few handful of songs, and they're not really my thing. Let's see. Bash Crash says, thoughts on the OG MK 1995 actor showing up as Shang Tsung in MK11. I'm so happy. Like, I like, and Mortal Kombat is especially good at this, but they pay homage to their history so much, whether it's something that maybe they should or shouldn't do. Like, I don't know how much MK11 you play, but, Burnout Inc., what's up? Hey, yo, driving, will you be able to join the chat soon? Nice. But yeah, going back to, I don't know how much MK11 you play, but like the characters have little interactions before their fights, right? So, like Katana, if you have Katana and Sub-Zero fighting, Katana's just like, oh, beating you is going to be easy. And Sub-Zero's like, what makes you say that? And then Katana's just like, I'm just going to use the element that brings life. And I'm like, you clever sons of guns. You put that in there. And Liu Kang says something along the same lines. He's like, I just need a pail of water to beat you. And like, they make little inside jokes, like, and it's awesome. I love it. So when they do it with somebody like Shang Tsung, Cary Tagawa coming back to play Shang Tsung again in the video game, I'm like, I'm such a nerd over this. I love it. Joseph Miga says, still nothing about that NECA regular Batman and Joker Alien. Yeah, I know. I was wondering about that, and I'm wondering if they're going to save that for the New York exclusive. I don't know, because I know NECA likes to divide up their exclusives too. Do I know Loser Kings 007? He does WWE stop motion. Audie? Yeah, I know. I mean, he's my friend on Facebook. I haven't seen him do any kind of animation in a while, though. I don't know if he still does it or if he's, like, kind of put that behind him. I have no idea. But, yeah, he actually has, like, a lot of really good tutorials on his channel, too. So, like, sometimes people ask me how to do stuff, and I'm like, look, this guy already made a video about that, and it's better than anything I could tell you. So, go pay attention to what he says. Zombie says, I want to storm Shang Tsung. Yeah, you and me both, buddy. Thoughts on YouTube updates? Alex version 1. What did they update? I don't know. I haven't noticed the difference. Trevor Sisk says, King of the Monsters, King Ghidorah versus Heisei King Ghidorah. Who wins? Well, King of the Monsters one is like 3 times the size. But if they're the same size, I might still have to give it to the new one. Because I don't want to spoil the movie, but he has a particularly interesting power that, you know what I'm talking about. The JC Club, what's been going on? Oh, we just been hanging out, man. Just rocking, just having a conversation, talking about some Godzilla King of the Monsters action, talking about some Mortal Kombat 11. We talked about NECA and all their exclusive figures coming out. That exclusive Macho Man Slim Jim figure, which looks awesome. Bash says, that sounds awesome. I actually haven't picked up MK11 yet, but Shang Tsung might be the deciding factor for me. Oh, okay. Yeah, the Shang Tsung is like a part of the Combat DLC pack, so like it's like, I don't know. I'm a sucker, so I paid the $40 for the extra like 6 characters or whatever it's going to be on top of buying the game when it came out. But if you're in no rush, honestly, they will probably release down the line like the complete edition or whatever that'll come with the game plus all the DLC characters, all for the regular price of the game. So, you know, if you're not in a huge rush, I'd say wait for that. Because that's what I did with Injustice 2. And it came with every DLC character. I had them all right away. I can mess with them. And it's cool. I like MK versus DC, but they censored the violence. Yeah, I mean, they kind of had to because of Warner Brothers. Didn't want to see, like, Superman's head getting ripped off and stuff. Kaimo says, I think I might get both NECA and Monster Arts Rodan and Mothra. Rodan especially. Can't wait for the Ghidorah coming next month. Me too. I'm checking my email just to make sure I don't miss like Ami saying like, hey, your order's ready, you better pay for it. Because I do not want to miss that and then not be able to get it. So that's one. And I like that they do Mothra and Rodan as a 2-pack. I thought that was pretty cool. And then it's like $105 for the 2 monsters, which isn't terrible. I'm going to definitely pick up NECA's versions too because honestly, NECA has stepped up their Godzilla stuff in my opinion, so I really like how their newer stuff is looking. Their Godzilla could use a few paint touch-ups around the face, but Mothra and Rodan, from what I've seen, both look really good. So, there we go. Machine Dragon Nero, I got a new Halo Reach game. Hope I can play it. would you not be able to? Is there something I'm missing? Thoughts on the amount of ads in a single 12-minute YouTube video? It's weird what they've been doing. I've noticed this with even some of my videos. Like, I'll upload something, and then I'll go to, like, watch it just to make sure everything uploaded okay. And it's like, okay, normally there's an ad I have to skip, but now there's 2 ads that I have to skip back to back. I'm like, that's new. I mean, hopefully it's doing something for me, but I don't, what's that all about? But like the long videos, they let you place the ads where you think they're good, and tempting as it is to put in a bunch of ads from beginning to end, I'm like, nobody's going to stay and watch my video if I do that. So I want to try and like space them out a little bit where people aren't going to get pissed off. And also, when I'm putting the ads in, like let's say write a passage or something, like that's like a 25, 30-minute video. You can place where you want the ads, but you can also pick what kind of ads you want. So like if I choose to just put the little banner ones at the bottom, then it doesn't interrupt the video. The video just keeps playing. It doesn't like take the viewer out of it. They just have to click the thing and they're just right back to doing what they were doing. I kind of prefer those ads anyway because, how annoying is it when you just are watching a video and then in the middle of it, it's like, hey, come buy this dog food or whatever it is. So I'm like, I just try and make it more user-friendly, I guess. Let's see. Zombie says, anybody see 616's latest video? Another masterpiece. Was that the History of WCW Games Volume 5 or Part 5? Yeah. I actually learned a lot from that WCW series. I didn't play any of those games, minus the N64 ones, and like a little bit of Backstage Assault, which the less said the better. But yeah, I really dug it. I mean, I learned a lot too, which is actually, that's really cool to come away from watching a video made by somebody you like, and you're like, not only was that very entertaining, but now I know about some of this stuff that I just had no knowledge of before. Zeke first, what's up? Alex version 1, what would be your opinion on Street Fighter versus MK? They'd probably have to tone it down again, because I think, Capcom and Street Fighter has never been a franchise about murdering people at the end of the fight, so you might have to sacrifice a little bit of that. Kaimo says, I honestly just want the bases from the Rodan and Mothra NECAs. They do look good. I'm on board with what the figures look like too, honestly, but for budgetary reasons, I think I'm going to go for them first, and then, because of Ghidorah costing what he's probably going to cost, I'll just get the other ones for pretty cheap. Part 5, nice, okay. Let's see, Zombie. So I have DirecTV now, and they've updated it to YouTube-style ads. I have to watch 2-3 ads before commercials, and then it'll stop in the middle of a show and pop up commercials. If you watch, streaming, TV shows from their website, like the CW or something, for example, will do that. And I get that, because it's basically just like watching a TV show, but YouTube, it's kind of annoying. And especially knowing that if it's happening on my videos, I'm probably not getting that much money for that, and all it's doing is upsetting the people who are trying to watch my video, and they might decide, maybe I just won't watch this guy's videos anymore. So I hope it's not driving people away. Bash says, I completely understand the need for ads and monetizing videos, but there are times where the length and amount of ads are just overwhelming. Not on your channel, just speaking in general. Oh, okay, good. I'm glad then that I'm spacing them out better. I've noticed though, because YouTube is where I catch up with a lot of something to wrestle with podcasts and stuff, and the first 20 minutes of every episode of Something to Wrestle is ad. It's every 5 minutes you get an ad, but then the whole rest of the video is fine. I'm I don't know what Conrad's doing over there, but he needs to freaking sort his stuff out. Dylan Oliver, can you give me a wrestling stop motion name? Can you help me? I'm thinking about starting. You got to just figure out what kind of federation you want to make, and then what you want the kind of theme of it to be. It's live streaming cable. It's horrible. Yeah, that's what that is. Oh, Machine Dragon says the Xbox that he has the red ring. All right. Yeah, luckily Xbox 360s I think can be had for reasonable prices now. And if I'm not mistaken, newer models corrected the red ring. I hope. I feel like I've heard that. Yeah. Joseph Mika, I'm going to take like 2 minutes out of this video to talk about some random app game that has nothing to do with my video. And I don't play in my free time, and I probably deleted it after talking about it. That's another thing, too. A lot of times, like, live, like, these ads will come in at the beginning of video from the guy who you want to just watch their video. Like, Angry Video Game Nerd did that once or twice recently, and he just put up a new video today, and I will watch it probably after the stream. So I don't know if that happened in this new one, but I wouldn't be surprised. And you know what? The guy's earned that ability. I mean, he's got so many videos that he probably just put out that he didn't make any money on early on. So I will give a pass to people who generally still put out quality content. But yeah, a lot of it is, I don't know, YouTube is broken. I was listening to the 616 Entertainment podcast this morning, and they had this guy who was in that WCW video. This guy Alpha Omega Sin was their guest, and I know very little about the guy, but he's like a big time video game YouTuber, and he was kind of explaining some of the stuff that YouTube does and how they work with the algorithm, and it was fascinating. And I kind of learned a little bit about maybe why some of my videos perform way better than others, and I'm like, oh, that makes perfect sense. Eddie Luna, what's up? WWE has been conned into saying Super Saudi Showdown is a WrestleMania equivalent event. I'm starting to think that AEW is going to be my wrestling of choice from now on. Just WWE, just like they gave us as fans, they gave the fans like what they wanted at the end of WrestleMania. They had to wait like 10 hours to get it, but all the baby faces won, all the major title changes happened, everybody was happy, and then they're doing this crap, and they're right back to people not liking what they're doing. So, I mean, you've got Becky Lynch, who's like the number one wrestler in the planet right now, and she's not even allowed to go wrestle at their biggest WrestleMania level event? Come on. Yeah, what's wrong with you? It's on Superman 64. I did see that. Let's see. Zekeverse says, speaking of MK versus Street Fighter, the irony of Street Fighter Mortal Kombat, that the MK cartoon was fairly mild, and the Street Fighter movie and Street Fighter Victory series was really grim. I liked Street Fighter Victory, Street Fighter 2V. It was on Netflix, and I watched it years ago, and it's not there anymore, but I would love to rewatch that. I thought that was a really cool series. AVGN makes his ads very entertaining and actually worth watching. That's true, too. When you've got somebody who actually knows how to, like, pitch something to an audience, definitely helps. Let's see. Tymo. I hate those videos that clickbait the title, address the topic in the last 30 seconds, barely over 10 minutes, and yellow dots everywhere in the timeline. Yeah, I try and avoid channels like that. Like, honestly, like, the YouTube stuff that I like to watch, it's either friends of mine, so somebody like a 616 or somebody like a Burnout Inc. or somebody like people that I enjoy what they're doing and I want to see their videos. Or it's like stuff that's like long, but the ads aren't placed like too invasively in the middle of the video. So that way I can leave it in the background when I'm like painting a diorama or something and still just be entertained by it while not having to worry about being bombarded with like, oh, if you want this service, just download this app. Eddie Luna, AEW rules, brother. Okay. I've heard like mostly positive things. In fact, I've heard basically all positive things. So I got to check it out. I watched Double or Nothing and it was worth every penny, says Zombie. Nice. Good. Let's see. Dylan Oliver says, I hate when YouTubers try to start stuff. Start like what? Like with each other? Like start fights? Would I accept a sponsor if I offered one? I mean, I don't... Like, sponsorships are a little different than just, like, straight advertising. Because, like, for example, I know of people who get sponsored by, let's say, like, toy companies. Or, like, Big Bad Toy Store, for example. Like, if they sponsor... For example, if they sponsor you, they might send you... Like, essentially, they're going to send you free figures, but they're going to expect either you to review them or to, like, make, let's say, an animation with them. And in the video, you're going to say, like, hey, this is available at Big Bad Toy Store. That's where I got it. Go get it. I'm okay with that because that's just kind of a trade. Like, the person reviewing the figure, the person using the figure for the animation or whatever, they're just being, like, very transparent. They're like, hey, I got this here. Here's where you can buy it. This is what I made with it. This is what I think of it. Go. What does JWF stand for? I will address that at some point. I will say, though, the name, it's old. It's definitely been since I've been doing a figure federation with, like, a picture federation, like, 15 or so years ago. And as a result, the name makes no sense anymore. So, go with that. Do I know how to use GameShark codes on an emulator? I do not. I actually don't have any emulators set up right now. Dylan Oliver, I do have PS4. That's what I use for basically everything. Like, I stream my, I watch YouTube on it while I'm making stuff. I, watch Hulu and Netflix and stuff on there. Which reminds me, Black Mirror, I think, comes out either today or tomorrow. I'm hyped. Burnout Inc. says, Macho Man Slim Jim figure. Your thoughts? Dude, I showed this a little earlier, but man, that just looks so good. And I love the Slim Jim props. I love that it's a cloth coat, so he's going to be able to move around. The box looks awesome. Like, it even has, like, the little tearaway thing there for, like, opening a box of Slim Jims. Like, whoever came up with this whole package, they definitely deserve a hot dog and a handshake, because that was awesome. It's really good. Kaimo Films. I've seen DGDX's BBTS stop motion ad at least twice a day. Where's that? Instagram? Because, I mean, for some reason, his, like, Instagram is sponsored also. Like, I think he made his into a business account, so it shows up more. So, I mean, he's an example. He's getting sponsored by these companies and getting paid to make content for them. I'm fine with that. He's literally creating advertisements that Big Bad Toy Store will then go and run places. That's totally fine with that, But at the same time, if you were watching a video and that showed up like 5 times in the course of a video, yes, I understand it gets annoying. Let's see. What's the difference between Virtual Pro Wrestling 2 or WrestleMania 2000? I think basically the roster, as far as I know. At Bash, yes. 1 month till Stranger Things Season 3. I was on board with Season 2. I liked it. It wasn't without its issues. Like, I think there was 1 or 2 episodes in the middle that I kind of could have skipped over and not really missed anything. Like when Eleven goes to meet her sister and the weird X-Men characters there they had. But yeah, like I'm on board. I'm down. Bring me Stranger Things. Bring me more Black Mirror this weekend, I think. Let's see. I've seen the ad on YouTube. Oh, okay. I actually haven't seen that on YouTube. Nice. That's freaking perfect. Yeah, definitely. Let's see, that Macho Man, I mean, I probably won't wind up getting it just because it's a con exclusive and everything, but the one I'm still most excited for coming out as far as like wrestling is that Ultimate Series Bret Hart. Like, I just want to see how they engineer this figure, because if they do it right, it's going to be perfect. Like, I love the head sculpts. Like, the way they did the faces this time, they made it actually look like Bret, which is like a first for Mattel. So yeah, I'm gonna get at least 2 of them. One, because I want to modify the hair and make it so that one strand isn't like hanging directly in the center of his face like Danzig. So, just something cool with that. Dylan Oliver is a 9-year-old. Well, don't stay up too late then. Latoya says, did I ever finish watching Chilling Adventures of Sabrina? Yes. I like that show too. It was a far cry removed from the old Melissa Joan Hart Sabrina show, which, I mean, that was fun for its time too, and people can still watch that and enjoy it. This is definitely something that's on its own and totally separate from that, but I liked it. I really liked the scenery and the creepy vibe that it gives you, and like how overtly satanic it was just really funny to me, because like you don't think about religion and stuff like that as much. It's so common to hear people say like, oh, thank God, or like, oh, well, heaven knows this and that. Like, that, you just don't realize how common that is until you hear somebody on this show say like, oh, thanks Satan, hell only knows that we could have done that. And then you're like, oh, that really is kind of weird that people really just go around saying God knows and heaven and stuff. And it's not even a religious thing. It's just a expression, So, I don't know. I loved it. I thought it was fun, and I look forward to more. Let's see. Could change it to CWF, Caps Wrestling Federation. Would have to make you new title belts if you do. Appreciate it. I do like JWF though. Like, I mean, it's just at this point, it's so like anybody who knows what it is, they're on board. They don't care what it stands for. They just want to watch some fun animation. So that's cool. I remember Billy Gunn on Sabrina. I remember seeing it when it aired, but I don't remember much. Like, I haven't seen it recently. Bash says, that reminds me, whatever happened to Melissa Joan Hitman Hart and 90s chick Alicia Silverstone? Bye, Flaming Dumpster Fire. I don't know about Alicia Silverstone. God, did she ever recover from Batman Forever? Or Batman and Robin, I mean? Could have been the kiss of death on her career. Melissa Joan Hart turns up in, like, ABC Family movies and, like, stuff like that every now and then. Oh, you know what? She was just on a Netflix show. I forget what it was called, but she was the mom, and like the family takes in like a teenage girl who says she's an orphan, but really she's like working for her foster parents who have her going from house to house just stealing things from families. Can't think of the name of it now, but she's still getting work. Let's see. Thoughts on Jon Moxley? I heard his Talk as Jericho interview, and it was pretty eye-opening. It was definitely like not anything outside the realm of what I would have thought possible from WWE. But I guess he just had a match today. I was talking with a friend of mine earlier because I did pick up. Are you ready for this? What a streak I'm on here. Alexander Wolf from Target. This is actually the second Alexander Wolf that I picked up from the very same Target, no less. The first one is now property of friend of the chat, Burnout Inc., and I picked this one up because I was like, I know somebody's going to need it. So I reached out to a friend of mine today and was like, hey, man, I got this. Let me know. And he was going to check in and see because he thinks one of his friends got him one. But, yeah, so I'm just having pretty good luck finding that exclusive figure. None of the other ones, just this one for some reason. I don't get that. Do I ever plan to cut my hair? I mean, not anytime soon, but maybe one of these days. I don't have like a plan to do it, really. Thoughts on Robin 2, who was killed by Joker with a crowbar? You're talking about Jason Todd, who, my thought is he should have stayed dead not because I hate the character or anything, but just because, like, some things in comics need to be real, need to be final, you know? Like, there was always the joke many years ago. It's like, only 3 things are certain in comics. Uncle Ben's dead, Jason Todd's dead, and Bucky's dead. Now, 2 of them are alive now, so Uncle Ben, I expect to see him any minute, honestly. Kaimo Films. I don't like self-promoting my stuff and channel, but I'm doing a live stream on Sunday to celebrate hitting 1K subscribers. Letting you know in case you want to stop by and chat. You heard it here. If you're a Kaiju fan, Kaimo Films doing this on Sunday. Check it out. Maybe you'll see me in there if you let me know what time. Let's see. Do I have a favorite wrestler? I gotta go with Jericho at this point. I mean, I'm a huge fan of The Rock, and he was my favorite during the time that I was a huge wrestling fan. But now that I've been kind of so removed from being that diehard wrestling fan for all those years, it's Jericho. Jericho consistently entertains me, so I gotta give it to him. In the final season of Sabrina, can she beat Buffy? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. That's tough. They could do a reboot or modern take on Clueless, where Alicia Silverstone and Paul Rudd play their characters from the first movie, and their daughter's a ditzy high schooler who's popular on Instagram. That is exactly what they would do with a reboot, too. It's like when they rebooted 90210, and they just had, like, some of the main characters from the original Beverly Hills 90210 were, like, school counselors, and, like, they were, like, in the background, but they weren't really the main characters, but they were there anyway. Swerve, bro. Uncle Ben was alive the whole time, bro. He was making minute rice, bro. The whole time. Vince Russo, that guy. And yeah, I agree. It should be Undertaker and Jarrett in Saudi Arabia. Jeff Jarrett, bro. He was not killed with a crowbar. He was abused for 2 years. I don't know. He looked pretty dead when Batman dug him up out of the rubble there. And again, this comic was like 1986 or whatever it was, so they might have changed the story since then. Because they've done that whole thing with New 52 and now the Rebirth stuff. Which actually they tied in with Watchmen, which is really... I wanted to hate it so much, but it's actually really kind of cool. Uncle Ben is the guy in the rhino suit. Yeah. Stream will be 4 p.m. Eastern. I'll make an Instagram post a few hours beforehand. Nice. All right, cool. Let's see. Does Elite Collectibles have Andre the Giant action figures? Do you mean ringside? I mean, Andre... There are Andre figures, but I don't know what's on ringside at this point. Anthony Henry. I have not seen AEW, but I've heard a lot of positive things. I would like to check it out. Crazy Guinea Pig Productions. I love your stop motion. Well, thank you. Thank you for checking it out. Yes, Joseph Miga, Death in the Family. I got, the weird thing is, when I bought that book, I didn't realize that was, like, the middle of the story was the Joker, killing Robin. Like, the end of the book is the Joker basically being a diplomat for some other country and, like, having, like, diplomatic immunity, so, like, Batman couldn't beat him up. It's like, I'm like, what? How did we go from this monumental death to, like, this weird... freaking story, but I digress. Let's see. Batman thought he was dead, but he died when Batman found him. Oh, I'm gonna have to go back and look at this history then. I bought the Giant Machine WWE Elite figure. Didn't think much of it, but the damn thing's gone up in price now. Oh, I guess I probably should have bought it then. I used to see it at GameStop all the time. Thoughts on Vince Russo saying WWE and AEW are working together? Bro, did he say that? Really? I mean, I'm not surprised. He'll say whatever he needs to say to get people talking about him. But, yeah, that's not what's happening. Just sit down, Vince. Favorite Batman story, says Joseph Miga. My knee-jerk reaction is Long Halloween. That's really good. I liked... Let's see. Hush was pretty good. Hush is one of those where, like, if you're trying to introduce somebody new to Batman, you give him Hush because it's got all the characters and awesome art and everything. Like, Year One and Dark Knight Returns are, like, they're fun. They're good for what they are. If I had to pick, like, a lesser-known Batman story, right after Hush was a story called Broken City, I think it was called. And that's really cool because that's like really noir and like street level, like just detective type stuff. And I really like that. I thought that was cool. Let's see. Crazy Guinea Pig Productions. I watched your Batman Toys video. Well, thank you. And then I watched the whole Batman movie series. I still love the first one with Jack Nicholson and Michael Keaton. Yeah, I mean, I still really like that movie. I don't think it's perfect, but it's a fun thing to put on and watch. Oh, look, did I see somebody? Nick Danger / Nick the Hedgehog. Been watching JWF since before I started my channel, and I love it today like always. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And I do see Burnout Inc. up here. Speaking of Watchmen, have I seen the trailer for the new HBO series? I've seen like the little teasers that they would put before like Game of Thrones episodes, and they're not giving you much, which is interesting to me because I want to see like, is it a prequel? Is it meant to take place after the events in the book? Or, the movie, I guess, could work too. Like, what am I going to be watching here? I'm very curious. Long Halloween's my favorite. Yeah, it's a good one. It's really good. I got a bunch of Batman graphic novels out there that I should go through and reread some of them. Because, yeah, they're good. I like them. A more recent story that's really good is White Knight. I've heard that. I've seen Comics Explains videos on White Knight where he just kind of like goes through the issues and kind of narrates them basically. But yeah, I want to pick up the trade if I find it for a good price. And I also heard Court of Owls is really good too. Let's see. Should GTA release action figures? I want Tommy Vercetti from Vice City. That sounds like a job for McFarlane. I'm surprised they don't have like GTA figures. they would have. I'm surprised actually that they didn't come out along the same lines, like the same time as the games did, because. Granted, if McFarlane had done them, they wouldn't have like been very articulated, but they would have sold. And now, because they're doing like the Fortnite figures and like all this, honestly, yeah, that's not a bad idea. I don't know why they don't. Speaking of McFarlane, they're supposed to be doing Mortal Kombat stuff too, based on the new game, and I haven't seen any of the actual figures yet. I've only seen like that you can pre-order them on Big Bad Toy Store, but I'm not going to do that. Because I don't know what these figures look like, and I'm not going to be pre-ordering something and have it turn out to be freaking crap. So we'll see what they look like. This is the last dance for Lance Vance. Court of Owls is amazing, one of my favorites, especially when they drive Batman insane. Nice. Joseph Miga says, have you read Superman Red Sun, where instead of landing in Kansas, he lands in the Soviet Union? I'm familiar with it. I never read it. But I know kind of what the story is about. And what's cool is, like, now, because of this Doomsday Clock thing, they basically just had it so that Dr. Manhattan is involved in all this now. Like, he somehow, like, sees the original Superman in, like, 1939, where, like, issue number 1 came out, and Dr. Manhattan basically just starts playing with time. He's like, right, well, what if this guy didn't show up? What happens then? Well, then he shows up at this time, except he's in Russia, and he's, Red Sun. It's like, okay, well, what if that doesn't happen? What if this happens instead? Well, now it's the new 52. And so basically Dr. Manhattan is responsible for all these different universes happening because he keeps displacing Superman at different points in time and changing the events of everything that happens. So that's their in-canon explanation, I guess, for why like there's so many different things going on with DC's history. And at first I was just like, that's so dumb. But then I'm just like, screw you guys. You got me interested. That's a pretty good reason for why all this stuff happens. Baraka Storm Collectibles is awesome, said Any Luna. As soon as a local place nearby me gets it, I'm going to swoop in there and grab my figure, because I'm looking forward to that one. Let's see, did I play Spider-Man on PS4 to the end? The main game, yes. I didn't do any of the DLC, so I don't know like if there's more past what I saw. But yeah, I'm definitely hyped. Serious House on Serious Earth was interesting as well as having an interesting art style. Yeah, I haven't thought about that book in a while, but I have that out there as well. And you're right. That's a really cool art style, especially the fight with Killer Croc where they're like up on the roof and he falls off onto the tower. Man, that's worth looking at again. I like how the one like Doctor, I guess, has Two-Face. Like, instead of flipping the coin, he goes from like rolling a dice to making more decisions to like basically pulling a card out of 52, and he becomes overwhelmed with all the choices he has, so he just becomes like completely like dependent on other people. Let's see, favorite Savio Vega match. Let's see, a little before my time as a fan, but from what I remember going back and seeing, I mean, I think the crowd was most receptive to him when he was the fill-in participant for Shawn Michaels at No Way Out in 1998. Was it No Way Out? Whichever that pay-per-view was before WrestleMania. Yeah, nobody wanted any part of Savio. And poor Savio. It's not even that he was bad. It's just he wasn't Shawn Michaels and he wasn't advertised. So they're like, boo. But, yeah, I don't know, actually. Baraka's blades are on the wrong side of his arms is the only drawback for me. I was wondering about that. It looks like they got him like on the bottom of his arms, which is like they're meant to be like on the top, like almost like Wolverine's claws type thing, but they're like under here. I'm wondering if I could just turn his wrist and have it look like they're coming out the correct way. So, I don't know. Zombie. It was No Way Out of Texas. I was there live. Oh my God. I'm so sorry. Although, I'm trying to think of the rest of that event. Like, what else happened there besides that one main event that everybody booed? Is that the one where Stone Cold throws the trash can at Billy Gunn, though? Because if it is, that might have made up for it. Let's see. Oh, it's about 9 o'clock, so we'll wrap up one or two more questions here. Thoughts? Joker slaps Batman on the ass. #MeToo. Oh, well, yeah. We'll see if DC reprints that anytime soon. Thoughts on Cena saying AEW is good competition for WWE? If he said that, then good on him. John Cena has been pretty transparent over the years about acknowledging the fact that there are other wrestling companies out there. Like, if you follow him on Instagram, he'll post pictures of, like, totally different things than you might expect. But one day he just posted a picture of Kenny Omega with no context, no reason why he would have posted this. But Omega had just, like, won a big match or something. So, yeah, John Cena, he knows what he's doing. Savio versus Stone Cold. The Caribbean strap match. Yep, there you go. We all wanted to throw a trash can at Billy Gunn in February 1990. Dylan Oliver. Do you watch K-Wing Batman Lores? If not, you should. He breaks things down. I've seen some of his video game reviews where he talked about, like, GameCube Batman. Was it the... There's a good one, and then there's a terrible one. And I had them both. The good one was Vengeance. Batman Vengeance was a lot of fun. And Batman Dark City? Or Dark Tomorrow, I think it was called. Terrible, terrible game. Let's see. Kaimo just started animating some tests of the 2019 Godzilla. Can't wait to use them in future projects. Very nice. Awesome. So, with that said... Dark Tomorrow is the bad one. Thank you, Joseph Miga. With that said, thank you for stopping in this week. And again, sorry about last week. Work and just stress from having to work so much that week. Garbage. I would have been way off brand last week. You wouldn't have liked the stream. So thank you for being patient and waiting for a much better stream this week. I don't think I have anything immediately off to the side here to show anybody. So, you know, I showed you Professor X already. Showed you the Alexander Wolf figure that I got sitting here. So, with that said, I guess I'll see you guys next week. Same Vader time, same Captain channel. We will catch you later.